Yes, we're at the Kenda Drive-In in Marshall. Started out in 1966. It's one of the few drive-ins around that's still in business. And with a little help from our friends and their cars, we're going to take you back to those days. Back to those happy days.
Oh, it's just like it was yesterday, let me tell you. We started dating in 1966. We've been married for 48 years. And we used to go to drive-ins. We weren't allowed to go to drive-ins, but we went anyway, you know, and we loved it. We really loved it, you know. Just loved the whole scene and seeing our friends and little kissing, you know. I mean, it was great, you know. And people like my buddy over there, we even, this guy over here, back before I started dating, a few guys came in the truck even, you know. I hate to admit it, but we did that. But we had loads of fun. We had loads of fun going to the drive-in. Loads of fun. What do you?
My girlfriends and I would go to the drive-ins.
Yeah.
And I can remember going to the drive-ins with my dad. And the first movie I remember going to with my dad was, what were we talking, the name of it?
The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music. It's really good memories for us.
Kenda, I don't know what to say here. Looking around, I mean, I'm speechless.
I don't either.
Ask and they will come.
Ask and they will come.
I
yes.
guess a drive-in and classic cars speaks a universal language.
It is obviously a good mix. Yes.
Tell us about the family history here with this drive-in.
My parents opened in 1966. They already had a theater up in town, and they opened the drive-in in April of 1966. I was a year old. Okay, so I've been raised, I was literally raised in this drive-in. We've been in continuous operation. My husband and I took over in 2003. So it's been a family-run operation the entire time. We've never closed. You know, we run year-round, so the most we've ever closed is a Christmas week. And besides that, we've always run. We're always here.
How does it make you feel to bring back some of the America's past like this?
Well, you know, to me, it's not really, to me, it's just what we do, okay? it's what I've always done, and it's what, you know, and to the locals here, it's just the way we watch movies. To everybody else, it's America's past, it's everything else, but since we've never left, and we've never closed, we're just, you know, we're just part of the landscape. It's not America's past to us. It is the present, and it's the future.
Well, I remember my family loading all us kids into the back of a 51 Nash Rambler station wagon and driving to the drive-in theater in the town next to mine. It was Wamasett, Massachusetts. And the popcorn and the candies and the throw out the blanket in the back of the Rambler, and we just had a ball, you know. Didn't really care what movie was on at that time, but we had a ball anyways.
Okay, now I gotta admit, I've gotta come over here. I have never seen this. What kind of a truck is this?
This Chuck is a 1948 white cab over. There were commercial trucks back in the day from the 30s and 40s all the way up to the mid-60s. It's been modified now. It sits on a 2003 Chevrolet heavy-duty 3500 one-ton chassis. It's got the modern 6.0 gasoline engine, 4L80 automatic transmission, dual air conditioning, and you need it here in Arkansas. And like you said, it's quite unique. You'll never see another one like it.
That's the first time I've seen it. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I can remember the getting the biggest car you can get to get into the drive-in, pack that thing full and go. Seen several good movies back then. I think the first movie I ever did see back in '78 was Grease, and seen some other movies there, and it just, in high school, that's all we did. I mean, every weekend it was at the drive-in.
Well, Jackson, understand that this is your first time here at a drive-in. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I thought they had the screen put up to another side of the building, well, and I didn't know it looked like an unpainted billboard.
It kind of looks like an unpainted billboard. You're right. I didn't think about that. Well, what's the story here, Daniel, with this Poison Ivy engine and this '57 Chevy?
My grandfather bought this car brand new in 1967, or 57, I'm sorry, and he bought it for me. I'm actually the second owner, but actually I'm the first owner because of him buying it for me. Now, the engine is named after a young lady I was going with out in Arizona, where I grew up. We were out one night running around, and this kid asked me if I would race him. Of course, I said, yes, I will. And we got out on Selma Highway, and he beat me by 2 car lengths. But during that period of time, on XCRB radio station out of Los Angeles, was a coaster doing Poison Ivy. Well, we got together that week. We rebuilt the engine, made it hotter. The same kid, 1 week to the day, went back out on Selma Highway, and the coaster playing Poison Ivy again. Connie slapped the dash after I beat the guy by about a car and a half length. She said, this car is Poison Ivy. And now it's Poison Ivy.
That's great. Fantastic.
This is a 1958 Ford Fairlane, and my husband and I purchased it around Thanksgiving about 5 years ago from a gentleman from St. Louis, Missouri, and he owns a car shop up there in St. Louis. I'm not sure if he did restorations or just sold automobiles, but it was in his shop for over 40 years. And it's an original numbers matching car. He purchased it from St. Louis, Missouri, where it was made. We tracked the VIN number, and it was made in St. Louis, Missouri. So it spent his whole life in Missouri till we purchased it, and we just love it. It's all original, and we really haven't changed anything about it. We just enjoy showing it, and a lot of people enjoy seeing it. And we love the 4-door because we can get many people in to just go for rides.
My grandmother had actually given me this car in 1963 when I was a senior in high school. And of course, it had a busted block in the motor and stuff, and so I put it inside a barn and set it up on cross ties. It sat there from 1963 till, like I said, about 12, 13 years ago. And when I took it off the blocks, the tires still had air and everything in them. I pulled it down to my farm shop. We disassembled it. I cleaned it all up, rebuilt the engine in it, and had it sitting in boxes. It took me 4 years to get this car completely redone, from the time I started to the time we completed. But since we've got it completed, I've made 6 trips to Florida in it, down to cruising the coast, down to the Emerald Coast and things. And we've made numerous car shows here in Arkansas. And of course, we're up here today at the drive-in, something that we thought was kind of neat, something unique that we wanted to do.
I remember back then in the 60s, the nice big cars that they had, you know, cool cars, muscle cars, and how cool it was to sit out there and listen to the music, see the big Technicolor screen, and the sound was great, and it was just a lot of open air. It was fun. You could smell popcorn all over, you know, and plus if you had a date, that was really good, you know. and we enjoyed that. So that's what I remember about them. A lot of fun.
And you still go back to those that, like this one, that are still going.
Yes, we came here 2 years ago on our 46th anniversary with a car club that we're in. Big cruise come from Cabot, and we came for this one too. We'll come back every year on our anniversary here, so it's about the closest one we can find. It's a lot of fun.
And we just had our 48th anniversary last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I've got his ring around my neck still from high school.
Oh, that was good old days. Pretty cars and pretty girls.
There you go. You wouldn't think of a national forest being smack dab in the middle of the Mississippi Delta, but here we are, St. Francis National Forest. We're on a body of water called Horner Neck Lake, and the state park waited until we actually got here to tell us there are gators in here. Nice. Horner Neck Lake is one of those forgotten, tucked-away lakes located in the southern end of the St. Francis National Forest along the Great River Road, about 2.5 miles or so north of Helena. So Tara, tell us about this happy marriage that Mississippi River State Park has with St. Francis National Forest.
Well, we have a special use permit, and we are basically managing the recreation areas within the National Forest. So we have 6 little islands within the forest that we manage, which are basically the campgrounds, boat ramps, things like that. Mm-hmm. And so it works really well that way. The forest can deal with managing the forest and keeping a healthy forest, getting rid of invasive species and that type of stuff, and we deal with the recreation.
Like the kayaking excursions.
Absolutely. We get to do the fun stuff.
So tell us about Horner Neck Lake in particular here, the one that we're on.
This is a fun little lake. It is in the delta, so it's real close to the Mississippi River. So it gets a lot of floodwater from the river, so that means we can get alligators. We can also get a lot of the fish species from the river. So it's going to have more fish species than just your regular lake species. So you can get some gar, grinnell, as well as your bass and brim, which makes it a fun little lake to fish, as well as just doing recreation and wildlife viewing on.
Yeah, I'm glad I remembered my fishing pole. I'm going to give it a try here, see what we can get.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a gator at the other end of the line.
The gators usually don't. We have some that are curious and they'll come look at you, but they.
Now you're talking about, you know, about yay big? Or,
yeah.
Yeah. So we're not talking about the length of this kayak.
None that I have come across yet.
None that you have come across yet.
Right. But they are fun to see, and as long as people won't feed them, they'll stay not curious about, or they'll stay just curious and won't think of us as food.
Yeah, because that would sure ruin a pleasant kayaking outing for a gator to think of us as food. Tara Gillander says she has the ideal arrangement here with an entire national forest to her disposal.
It means that I have 22,000 acres to play in, but the park is really only responsible for about 530 of those. Mm-hmm. But I can do van tours, so we just have a huge diversity of habitat. Like we have this cypress swamp. We have
the Great River Road that goes all the way through the forest.
Yes. We have the confluence of the St. Francis and the Mississippi, which is another little bitty different habitat. We have Storm Creek and Bear Creek Lake up on top of the ridge, and then just the forest of Crowley's Ridge itself is much different than, you know, the delta itself. Yeah. So we have tons of different environments, which means different species. So we can do a lot of different types of ecosystems and habitats and find all sorts of different critters.
And that's what people, you know, I mean, they don't associate the delta with all this. They associate it, you know, with rice fields and, you know, cotton fields and whatnot.
Yes, and people forget that we have cypress swamps, we have backwater swamps, and then, of course, Crowley's Ridge runs through the delta. So we do have a little bit of topography. Not a whole lot, but just a teeny bit.
Now, as far as my fishing luck in this lake, I didn't exactly land a nice big bass or crappie or catfish, but I did manage to catch one of those rare horner neck lake species. Great.
That's a hell of a nice tight chuck you got there, Chuck.
I knew that was coming. Yeah, I knew that was coming. A limb fish. One of those twig monster fish.
Look at you.
Yeah. Probably should have left the fishing pole at home on this one. While we're out and about, we're always looking for a good place to eat. And here in the Spa City, after you've taken your bath and you're looking for that perfect, unique dining experience, Rolando's is it. Inside, you'll find fine Latin American cuisine as only Rolando himself, a native of Ecuador, can present.
This is going to be the shrimp bohemio. It's made of green peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, green onions. So on a pan, we put the salsa that we already made every day, every morning, and then we add the shrimp. About 11, 12 shrimps.
And that's fresh caught in Lake Washita,
yeah,
right?
Yes, yeah.
That's what I thought.
We flip it up a little bit. Put a little bit of, this is a Goya Puerto Rican condiments. Put a little bit. A little bit of lime juice, fresh lime juice. And a couple of butter, unsalted butter. We'll flip it up and let it cook for about 7 or 8 minutes. While the shrimp is cooking, we're gonna plate it. We're gonna put some rice. This is an Ecuadorian recipe, the rice. Plate like that. This is a fresh mango sauce. The Cuban black beans. And the fresh red onions and tomatoes, Ecuadorian style. And the cucumbers, marinated in Argentina.
Very nice.
And we serve some Monterey cheese and cheddar cheese for decoration. And we decorate the plate with chipotle salsa.
No, I thought Mexican. That was chocolate syrup.
No, and this is the jalapeno sauce. Like that, and sour cream. And we decorate it with a couple of chips. Like that.
The artiste.
Like that, the shrimp is already done. And we plate it.
And it's another award-winning Rolando's dish. No
Yes,
doubt.
sir. Yeah.
This has been a dream of yours to have a restaurant like this. Tell us about that.
Well, my wife Sherry, we started this restaurant in Forsman. We opened up one, and it was a building, empty building. We didn't have anything there, and we tried to do it by ourselves, by hand, decorate all the walls, everything. I don't know if you've been in Forsman.
And these out here, all those.
Yeah, it's
you
almost.
Did that. All that artwork, you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Forsman is more handwork. Work. You know, all the people they like. It's a little bit different. It's not real Mexican. It's not. You know, it's the flavor is from South, Central, and the Caribbean.
Another favorite dish here at Rolando's Restaurante is the Cubano.
So now we're going to play the Cuban plate. Basically, it's the rice and the black beans. A little bit of parsley or chimichurri salsa is Argentinian. Put some Monterey cheese and some green vegetables. Chop every morning, yellow, red, green peppers and scallions. And again, we do the red onions, Ecuadorian style with tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, plus the cucumbers, marinated on this Argentina sauce. Then put a little bit of guacamole, our fresh guacamole.
So this is like a vegetarian dish.
Yeah. We serve like vegetarian, and people they like with pork, roast pork, Puerto Rican roast pork, or chicken, real chicken.
Because of the size and location of this building in Hot Springs, Rolando and his wife Sherry were able to do a lot more with it.
And I said, well, Rolando, there's our building. And that's how much thought went into it, and we took the building that day. But it's been a surprise journey, you could say. We started, and the artwork, all of this that you see in the building is Rolando. He is the artist of the pair. He's a true artist from the way he prepares the food, he paints. He's just a very talented man. But on the outside is our patio area. And we call it the secret garden because when we came here, it was completely grown over. And we started pulling up weeds and working, and we found paths. I mean, they were completely covered. You'll see the rocks out there, completely covered with the vines and everything. And so we completely cleaned it up and opened it for the following spring for outside dining. And that is one of the features that draws people to Rolando's. It's romantic, it's beautiful, everything about it, the outside terrace, I like to call it. And we have live music, and people enjoy the outside, the beauty of the natural park and the wood and the rock and everything about it. It's built into the side of the state park, and so it's built into the side of the mountains.
On the second floor, for a totally different atmosphere and feel, is a speakeasy. And so, with 3 different unique settings, it never gets boring here. Yeah, so I think I'm going to close it out here with the El Plato Cubano, Castro's favorite, supposedly. And when I get done, I'll find me a nice, big, fat Cuban cigar. But then maybe not. If you'd like to see this episode again, or any one of our others, visit our website at aetn.org/exploringarkansas. And don't forget to like us on our Facebook fan page. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.